All right, folks, I'm Tom Downey. Alongside me is Mitchell Renz. We took you through the top 20 Super Bowls of all time. Now we're going to come back to, today. And we're going to take a look at some of the latest NFL news and rumors around the NFL. We start with our first rumor. Is James Harrison not going to retire? Mitchell, Harrison himself says he wants to play a little bit longer, which is kind of insane to me.
I mean, have you seen his workout videos? I think he's perfectly fine. I mean, he's one of those guys I think he can keep playing. And I was kind of surprised to see the Steelers let him go. And then it was such a Patriots thing to do to finally realize that this guy still can play. So, again, I think he's still good. I think he fits well with the Patriots system that they got going right now. And he keeps putting out those workout videos, so he looks like he's in plenty of good health. We're
giving this one 3 Goodell head means that it's pretty likely. My only concern with this, Mitchell, is that do NFL teams, are they still going to want him? Like, do you want a 40-year-old pass rusher on your team? He's been still relatively solid for the Patriots, but would you take Harrison, who's 40, or a 21-year-old mid-round draft pick?
Yeah, going off that argument, but again, I mean, if he's a veteran guy who maybe can come in for not very much money, can maybe help younger players and bring some of that veteran swag, why not?
All right, for those of you wondering what the Goodell heads mean, here's what they mean. If you see no Goodell heads, that means the rumor we're discussing, it is fake news. Do not believe it. There is no truth behind it. 1 Goodell head means there's a small shred of truth. 2 Goodell heads means, look, the people are talking, and this is firmly in the rumor category. 3 Goodell heads means it is more probable than not, to borrow the phrasing used from Deflategate. And 4 Goodell heads means it is fact news. This thing is going to go down.
Cool, my man. Let's get him in.
Let's get to our next rumor here. Number 2, are the Broncos going to trade Aqib Talib? We're giving this one 2 Goodell heads, Mitchell, because yes, they are going to try to trade him, but that doesn't mean they'll actually be able to trade him.
And that's the issue. I mean, Talib has an $11 million base salary. If they end up cutting him, they would save $10 million. So, again,
they say that at $11 million. There's a $12 million cap at $11 million base salary.
Correct. So, my bad on that. So, again, but Aqib Talib is still one of the top corners in the NFL. It's just, unfortunately for him, that's a lot of money. I don't know if a team is going to want to offer him that kind of money.
You are limited because there are only so many teams that have the cap space involved to go out and get a guy like Aqib Talib. Like the Niners make sense from that perspective,
and I guess the Browns too. I mean, the amount of money that those two teams have, but
I mean, is Aqib Talib? And I guess this is the end question: is he going to get $11 million per year on the open market if he were cut?
I don't think so.
See, that's top 10 quarterback money. So I agree with you. I don't think that he does. And if that's the case, I'm not trading for him because I can get him for less, and I don't think I'll put a draft pick in the process.
No, that's a good point.
Keep it rolling now with some more rumors. Are the Browns going to take Baker Mayfield with the number 1 overall pick? Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports reports that he's been told that Baker Mayfield is a strong candidate to be the number 1 overall pick. Mitchell, we're giving that 2 rumors because it's in the rumor category, but I don't know if I really believe that.
Oh, Tom, I hope not. I mean, I am on the Baker Mayfield hype train. I mean, I watched your draft profile video on YouTube the other day, and it got me so excited, so excited for Baker Mayfield, and it's hard not to be. And this guy was amazing out of Oklahoma, but man, I don't want him to go to the Browns. I'd rather Sam Darnold go there. He can ruin his career.
I think this is, I don't know if this is truly peak people are talking rumor, but I think it's kind of close. Because you're going to hear every quarterback linked to the Browns, be it Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, which, by the way, actually brings me to a reaction poll. And I'm curious how the votes flow in for this one. Who is the best quarterback in this year's NFL draft? Is it Josh Rosen out of UCLA? Is it Baker Mayfield out of Oklahoma? Is it Josh Allen out of Wyoming? There's a reason he's the laughing face, folks. Or is it Sam Darnold from USC?
I mean, for me, when I look at these two, I think it's between 2 guys. It's between Josh Rosen, who I think has the upside of almost any, I don't want to say any elite quarterback in the NFL, but he has all the talent. And I think it's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield reminds me of Drew Brees. He plays with that swagger. He's got great arm strength. He has big enough NFL hands. I mean, he's much faster and much more athletic than people give him credit for. I'm throwing up the I think it's Baker Mayfield.
I agree with you on Baker Mayfield. My number 2, by the way, is Josh Rosen. There are going to be, I think, concerns for both of these 2 guys, Baker and Josh, about some of the off-the-field stuff. But when you look at on-the-field play, one of these guys is not accurate, Josh Allen. One of them can't stop turning the ball over, and Sam Darnold. I'll take Josh Rosen and Baker Mayfield there.
Yep. I mean, Josh Allen, I think you said it too. He's a guy who can literally make the throws that nobody can make, but then he can't make the pass that everybody can make.
It's fair. We mentioned how the Browns are probably going to go quarterback at number 1. That might not stop them, though, from acquiring a veteran, and that brings us to our next rumor. Could the Browns trade for Alex Smith? This one comes from the Cleveland Plain Dealer. You have seen maybe some headlines out there that say the Browns are expected to, or the Browns will try to, or the Browns will trade for Alex Smith. That's not what this article actually wrote. The article from Mary Kay Cabot of the Plain Dealer wrote that the Browns will acquire a veteran such as an Alex Smith, throwing out Alex Smith as an option. That's why it's 2 rumors. People are talking. But no one has reported that they're going to get him or that they're going to get him in particular. Just that a veteran makes sense for Cleveland is what's being reported. And that does make sense.
It 100% makes sense. I mean, again, when you look at the Cleveland offense, I don't want to say they're only missing a quarterback, but they have talented receivers. And I think the running backs were kind of underrated this past year. The offensive line going into the season, one of the better offensive line groups. Their defense is an underrated defensive group. They just turn the ball over so much from a quarterback standpoint, and that's what killed them. And yeah, if you can maybe get a guy like Alex Smith, who, by the way, led the NFL in passer rating with 104, like, a lot of people don't realize that. And only for 17 mil, Tom?
And it would, in theory, be a 1-year rental, but be a good year for Alex Smith, and it would allow you to have some time to groom that young quarterback. However, though, Mitchell, the Browns are not the only team that are trying to make a move, in theory, for Alex Smith. ESPN's Louis Riddick has reported that the Bills and the Jaguars could both be options for Alex Smith in a trade. What do you make of these 2 fits here?
I think they both make sense. I mean, these are both teams that want to run more of a run-heavy style offense, which definitely helps out Alex Smith. I would love Alex Smith to the Jaguars. Lean on that defense, pound the ball with Leonard Fournette, take care of the ball. Smith, I think Jags would be a better fit for Smith.
I am giving this one 3 Goodell heads because this does seem that they do want them. The big question mark around both these teams is what happens to their other guys. Are the Jags going to cut Blake Bortles? I would think so. He's due $19 million.
Yep.
You can just say, all right, bye, Blake. Oh, hello, Alex Smith. Done. And they're back in the Super Bowl discussion again next year. The Bills have an interesting situation with Tyrod Taylor. You could see them trade for a guy like Alex Smith and then end up cutting Taylor or trying to trade Taylor as well.
Yeah, for some reason, they don't like Tyrod Taylor.
They don't, and I'm not really too sure why either. One final rumor, is Earl Thomas going to hold out?
It's a good question. I mean, I would love to see him end up here in Dallas, that's for sure. I mean, he tracked down Jason Garrett for a reason, and I think he deserves to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
When you see all the other things going on right now with that Seahawks defense, I think he should.
Thomas has been very vocal about this. He is in the last year of his contract, and at his age, he's like, look, this is going to be my last big money shot.
Yep.
Like, this is going to be my final big money contract, then I'm going to go chase a ring somewhere else. That's kind of the typical path for big-name NFL players in their NFL career. And this is what he said. He's like, as for my future in Seattle, I think if they want me, money talks. Which sounds like he's going to hold out, right? Here's the rest of that sentence, though. We'll get something accomplished.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm just taking it one day at a time. I think this is firmly in the rumor category. He could end up holding out, but it's not going to be a year-long holdout in the end.
Yeah, I mean, he wants Eric Berry kind of money, 6 years, $78 million. I think he can get it. I think he should get it.
And I agree, and I think there are some injury concerns around Earl Thomas, and you see, of course, the flirting with the Dallas Cowboys. That's been very open, and he's been very open and vocal about that. I kind of get the vibe that this is a leverage play for Earl Thomas. I don't think he actually wants to go to Dallas right now. I think he wants to, but I think he prefer to stay in Seattle. That's where his home is, but at the same time, if you're looking at Seattle, older defense, they kind of blew up the coaching staff with the coordinators. I think there's a reason he's asking to get paid right now.
Yeah,
I think there's a good reason for that.